Hey guys, Zephyrnix here. I wanted to kind of go over some things that I know was, in kind of in lore V3. And before I do that, I want to kind of go over a question that someone asked me today. Someone actually asked me, should Sony go ahead and bring up the whole thing with PlayStation Network being hacked and all that? I'm going to say no. They don't need to. Honestly, they've done enough. Seriously. I mean, think about it like this. Sony has literally went live in a live conference all around the world and sat there and humbled themselves an apology. So that's one thing they did. You also got to factor in that all the stuff they've been giving PlayStation users for free, and even identity protection, so they're good. They're good. There's no need to go ahead and continue to constantly, want them. What else do you want them to do? They've done way more, actually, than one might think. They've done a lot more. So I think it's good. I think they're good exactly where they are. Every part of the service, the network system has been, PlayStation Network has been more fortified. So hopefully it won't get hacked again. Hopefully it will be better. I hear SOE is also got more fortified. Now, yeah, I do know that servers all around the world are being hacked that are Sony. I do understand that. Last one was Sony Pictures got hacked recently. There was a Sony in Canada that also got hacked. It's true. But, I mean, I guess they realize now that their security systems were in fact, low, so they're going to do something about it now. I guess it just took something this big to do it, but I mean, whatever. Like I said before, they're doing everything that they can do in order to gain your trust back. So, I don't, whether you trust them or not, it's up to you, but I will say this. They've done more than enough to go ahead and try and do their best to make up for it. You got to, how to put this, respect the attempt, at least, So, no. I think they can go along with their lives just like you can go along with your life too, in terms of just, get along. It's over and done. They've done their best, So that's all I want to say about that one. So I wanted to go over a couple of things that I've noticed about this E3 that's coming on. First of all, you guys remember I just did a video about the NGP and hoping it had backwards compatibility with PlayStation portable games. Well, guess what? Today, today, I did that video yesterday, I think it was. Today, once again, they have announced that there will be some backwards compatibility for all PlayStation portable games. So that's a really good thing. I'm very interested in that. That is one of the biggest things I'm interested in. That means I can go ahead and download all the PlayStation portable games that I've actually wanted to play on, and I can go ahead and enjoy them. So that's good. I'm also hoping that they're also going to allow you to go ahead and download the PlayStation Classic games as well. That'd be nice. But they haven't really announced that yet. But you know what? That's fine. PlayStation portable games, that's more than enough, That's more than enough, Sadly, they're still going to have the same control scheme. But, like I said before, it's more than enough. Another thing I want to announce that Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker will actually be remade on both the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. Yeah, remember that? Remember when I was saying there will be a Metal Gear Solid game on there eventually, and everyone was saying no, that one's riding, so that don't count. Well, how about 2, 3, and Peace Walker? They count, right? So there you go. So that's pretty much it for that one too. So yeah, anyway, Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker are actually coming to the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. So it looks like Zephyrnix right again. Anyway, another thing that I want to announce that I saw that was pretty good is that Microsoft is most likely going to announce their Diamond subscription service. Now, I'm not sure if you guys remember this. There was a situation they were talking about called Code OPA or something like that. I forget exactly what it was called. Basically, Project OPA. Basically, what they were doing was they were working on creating like their own television, not really television series, but kind of like a Hulu-ish television thing that they were trying to do, which is not a bad idea. I mean, you kind of wonder, well, wait a minute, why do you have Hulu? But it's been something that's been rumored, and it kind of Orapa, that's what it was, Orapa. Yeah, Orapa. Anyway, so it was something that I was really worried about. If you guys remember correctly, remember the IPTV thing? Well, IPTV is essentially Hulu. So I was kind of wondering, well, if you already have Hulu, what else could you possibly do? So I'm not sure exactly what Microsoft plans to really do with this particular service here, or if they're going to really announce it anyway. But we'll find out. Basically, they kind of proposed it as a virtual cable operator kind of thing. So I'm very interested in the next coming days in terms of what it's going to be. Also, I want to know also about what was it? Remember, I'm not sure if you guys know about this, but there was 3 trademarks that Microsoft did: Fusion Volt, Fusion Genesis, and Fusion Sentinel. I also want to know what that's about. I also want to know what Ventra was all about too, because there was a lot of things trademarked for Microsoft about the Xbox recently. You know, aside from the you know, the Diamond service, you also had, like I said, Fusion, and then you have Ventra. So there was a lot of things that I really wanted to know about. So I'm thinking all that will be announced this E3. So that's pretty good. I also saw the Uncharted 3 co-op. It looks like, I'm not really sure, but it looks like the whole game is going to be fully on co-op, which is good, because in most of the game, and especially Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 1, he always had somebody with him for the most part of the game, as far as I remember anyway. There was some parts where he was alone, but for the most part, he always had someone with him, whether it was Chloe, or whether it was the blonde, or whether it was the older guy. Sorry, I don't know. Man, I just remember Chloe. You know why I remember Chloe. She had a nice ass. But anyway, so that is the reason. So it looked good. I'm not really feeling the whole, like, Nathan Drake looks a little different. I don't know. I don't think I'm really feeling that look. But, you know, the gameplay seems to be on par. Another thing that they seem to have added is some stages that actually have vertical gunplay, where you're actually climbing up and you're actually shooting and people are falling down there. And I also want to say that he also said this, quote, imagine this, he says, imagine this in 3D. Which brings me to wonder, will this have 3D support? Well, I'm thinking it will, but I mean, only time would tell, right? So I'm definitely thinking that this is going to have 3D support, though it hasn't been announced just yet. I also seen the Tomb Raider trailer, which, okay, they give it a lot more into the storyline about where Tomb Raider is coming from, and I'm actually liking this. I'm actually liking where it's going. However, the problem is I don't understand where the tomb part comes into play, but they did announce how, you know, it's like a reboot. Basically what's going on is she was, you know, she's basically looking for adventure, so she went out there looking for it, and apparently adventure found her when she was on a boat, and the boat got into an accident, and basically looked like she was washed up on shore, badly hurt. So now she's badly hurt, and she's got to go out there and survive. So I like that. I actually like that. There's not too many survival games out there like on this kind of level of survival. You know, you got those survival horror games, but not really survive against the elements or the earth and things of that nature, you know. I'm thinking I'm going to like this. I definitely am. I also saw Spider-Man Edge of Time, which really did look pretty good. I finally got to saw, what is it? Modern Warfare 3. It looks pretty good. We also found out The Witcher 2 is announced that will be on the Xbox 360, so that's pretty good. It's a console exclusive now. That's really good. Batman Arkham City. They showed a lot of Catwoman there. Now, they haven't really said anything about, is it going to be like, is Catwoman going to be playing, you know, will you be able to control Catwoman or something like that or something? I don't know. They didn't really say that. But, yeah, there you go. They also did a Saints Row 3 trailer, which, you know, I'm a big fan of Saints Row. So I'm definitely looking forward to that coming, and that coming strong. So that's definitely something there. You also know that Kojima will not be there at the E3. That doesn't really mean that won't be there at the E3, mind you. Won't be there at E3, mind you, but, you know, whatever. We also found out that Uncharted for the NGP will be called Uncharted Golden Abyss, which is pretty good. We saw a little bit of gameplay. It's taking use of the touch screen. It looks like too much going on with your hands. I think they put a little too much into it. But so far, the graphics look great. I mean, there is wow. So yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. Is there anything I can think of at this time? I'm looking through my things right here to see if I can think of anything. That's pretty much it. And of course, you got the usuals coming so far. They got Mummy Online. Yeah, the movie Mummy Online. Who thought of that? I don't know. They need to be fired though. But anyway, that's pretty much it as far as I can think right now. Oh, you have the new E3 2012, WWE 12 game that I'm interested. You guys know I'm a big wrestling fan, so I really want to see the WWE 12 and see what that's all about. I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, I ain't gonna lie to you. When I do get the wrestling games, you know what I do? Create TNA characters. Create them all in there. And then some of the old classics like Macho Man Randy Savage and things of that nature. You know, rest in peace. But anyway, so that's pretty much it. StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm was actually debuted already. That's something I also want to check out too. I'm a big StarCraft fan as well, even though I didn't get StarCraft 3 yet. StarCraft 2 yet, but I do plan to get it eventually. But anyway, that's my video today. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my E3 thing. And yeah, I just really wanted to go ahead and cover that whole thing with running Sony's system and my thoughts on Sony have to bring up the elephant in the room kind of thing. Because quite frankly, there should be no elephant in the room because they did what they can do as an apology, including apologize. Let it go.